Hello and welcome to the Hotkeys podcast. This is the show where we talk about everything pop culture and random in the world. I'm your host, Michael. Today I'm joined by
Landon Browning
and David Parker.
And no Will today, or Colby. I mean, Colby's probably never going to be on the show again, but
not after the accident.
No, it's a sad loss. But the rest of us are here. Halloween's coming up.
Spooky season. I like October.
I like fall, autumn.
I don't like the cold. I hate it with a passion.
This isn't that bad though.
I like the cold.
It was cold earlier this week. Do you think you would like the cold if you had to work out in the cold?
I've worked out in the cold.
No,
you don't work out.
I do work out.
What do you do?
I mostly just do cardio.
Wii Sports.
Dave's like, well, when you fight a boss in a Dark Souls game,
you jump for joy at the end when you beat it. But there's hundreds of bosses in Elden Ring, so it's actually just, there's a lot of bosses to fight, so lots of opportunities for working out.
Mm-hmm.
No, I run like on an elliptical machine.
Oh yeah,
how much do you
run? 25 minutes, 30.
How far do you go?
It's usually like 3 miles.
I go very slow. Do you like getting sweaty?
Not really, but I get sweaty not working out, so it doesn't really matter.
You get sweaty no matter what?
Yeah, I'm a sweaty boy.
You're a sweaty lad.
I'm a sweaty lad.
I get sweaty too.
I've kind of just accepted that it's my fate, that like it's part of me. I hate it though, but you can accept
really
things
cool
that
you've accepted this thing about you and you've moved on. I'm really proud of you for that.
What do you need to accept, Landon, that you haven't moved on from?
That I'm going to be a cripple by the time I'm like 35.
Do you really think your knee is gonna affect you that bad?
My knee pain is affecting, it's moved to my hip. Now my right hip feels extremely stiff most of the time. And I'm like, I don't know if it's a separate issue or if it's just a byproduct of
How old are you? 25, 26?
I'm 25.
Oof.
I thought you were 53.
Yeah. Looks aren't everything.
You freaking old crusty man.
Yeah.
Why don't you just get surgery?
I already had my knee scoped and they did a surgery, a minor surgery. They said they couldn't find anything wrong with my knee. They're like, there's nothing wrong with it.
It's all mental.
Yep. I'm like Chuck from Better Call Saul. It's all in my head. The electricity.
So something needs to click into place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You need to get punched in the side of the head or something.
I don't think that's gonna.
Mick will punch you. He'll do it.
Michael will punch you.
Michael will punch you.
I'll probably go get my hip looked at some point.
Dude.
What? Pain is normal. It's part of life. Trying to alleviate it. My parents didn't let me play any sports when I was growing up. They're like, you'll get hurt. And then they let me do fencing, and I got hurt doing that.
How bad is your hip?
It feels like I can't. That's a really weird visual.
Not to mention, your pants are pulled up over your belly button.
I'm wearing flannel pajama pants for the audio.
Yeah.
You're just confirming more and more how old you are. Gotta hike these up to my nips.
Have you ever done that with flannel pajamas? It's really fun.
Oh yeah, they're stretchy.
Pull them up. Yeah,
they're stretchy. You just gotta.
Yeah, my right hip, I can't angle out very far without it starting to hurt.
This way.
Yeah, that starts to feel like it's tense.
Is it a bone joint thing or a muscle?
It feels like a bone.
You just need to pop it in place.
Maybe.
I'll punch your hip.
Please don't. That's very close to other things. I don't want you to accidentally punch.
I'm pretty accurate.
Pretty.
But to make it more interesting, I'll be blindfolded.
Blindfolded and spin around 8 times.
Yes. And I'll use a baseball bat.
Oh, God.
Well, I'm sorry your hip is hurting.
It's fine. It's all part of spooky season.
Is that your costume?
Old man.
Sore hip?
Yeah, sore hip. I'm dressing up with a sore hip for Halloween this year. No, I'm on call, so I can't do any Halloween-related festivities.
Well, I mean, you could watch scary movies and eat candy and stuff.
Yeah.
Not when you're on call.
My girlfriend Megan does not like spooky movies. She hates them with a passion.
I do too.
We watched The Thing together because I told her she had to watch one spooky movie this year, and
So you picked one of the scariest.
I told her I didn't think that one was that scary. I really don't think The Thing's that scary.
Isn't that just more graphic than scary?
There's some gross practical effects.
But there's like psychological horror there. It's
yeah, which I didn't think was like when I put it up in like the pantheon of like Hereditary or like Midsummer, like or like even like The Wicker Man, like I don't find The Thing as scary. Like,
what's the scariest movie you've ever seen?
Hereditary.
Like, why is that scary?
It feels really real, if that makes any sense. Like the amount of real,
like the more realistic it is.
Yeah, even though like there's some stuff that's like clearly like there's some like supernatural stuff in it, like it feels like the movie takes such a long time building to it, and like most of the horror is just like this family like crumbling that it feels very real. And then like the last 20 minutes of the movie are like insane.
Mm.
Yeah.
And this is the movie that Dave will never watch.
Yep, Dave refuses to watch it. He watched Midsummer though, which is I would say almost just as scary.
Why don't you want to watch the Hereditary?
There's a scene in the movie where, do you want me to spoil?
I mean, I'm never gonna watch it.
Oh, what's the scene you don't want to see?
What do you mean this?
There's several scenes. Oh, are you talking about the car scene?
The driving scene and the.
Oh, is that what's the one you don't want to see?
Well, I don't want to see. I don't want to see that.
That scene's messed up.
I have watched a fair amount of horror movies though this month.
Why don't you just bite the bullet?
Put your belly away. I know the listeners can't see, but Michael and I can.
Did I say bite the bullet? I meant bite my belly.
Bite my belly. Here, I'll read the list of horror movies I've seen so far this month. Landon, I want you to tell me if you've seen any of them or you're interested in seeing any of them. I've watched.
I can tell you too.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, we can do that also, Michael.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, I watched Creep, At the Mouth of Madness, Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play, Scream 2, The Devil's Backbone, and Rosemary's Baby.
Oh.
So I've seen Creep. I think Creep's really scary and also funny at the same time.
Oh yes, like, that is a very funny / creepy movie.
There's a lot of jump scares, like I feel like in that one, but like his character is also just like really funny.
The big reason I watch that is I really like Mark Duplass, the main actor in that movie. But that was very like, it is a very creepy movie, but it has some really funny moments. Him and his brother like made the movie together, and they both tend to like really like kind of those comedic elements.
Horror can be very funny too.
Yes.
Like it's also like, I feel like it's like a key.
Like Scream 2. That's another one.
I need to watch. I've seen the first Scream, which I really liked. I need to see the second one.
Have you seen Trick or Treat?
Mm-mm.
That's kind of same thing where it's scary, but it's funny too. You'd probably like it, Dave.
Do you like those at least, Mick?
It has Dr. Connors in it from the original Spider-Man trilogy.
Do you like those kind of movies then at least?
See me standing here?
Gosh dang it.
My class is over. Your report on
I was trying to move on before Mick started quoting Spider-Man. But no matter what. Okay, so do you like those kind of movies? Like funny, like did you like Scream, the first Scream movie?
Planning isn't sorry, what?
Do you like the first Scream movie?
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't really scary.
I mean, it's like a slasher movie, but I would say.
Yeah, but even then, like, it's poking fun at slasher movies. Like, it's meta.
Yeah.
Meta isn't scary.
So then Cabin in the Woods, like, you should watch that then.
Cabin in the Woods.
I did rewatch Cabin in the Woods.
That movie is so funny.
We all watched it
not that long ago.
Last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
That's one of my favorite movies, I think. Like, it's probably my top 15.
I still wish that, I mean, it's more of a mystery of what's going on, because pretty quick it's like, oh, that's what's happening.
Yeah, but like that's part of the comedy of it is getting to watch the people in the control room.
I guess so, yeah.
Just like
I got a dirt bike.
Yeah.
I'll save us all.
Yeah,
yeah, how many times he hits the wall on the way down and like the other people watching and like screaming. No!
Who directed that?
It was Joss Whedon.
No, Drew Goddard directed that.
Oh, who wrote it then?
Joss Whedon wrote it with Drew Goddard, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I hate Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon, he's not really cool anymore. People don't like Joss Whedon anymore.
No, Drew Goddard, he's the same guy that did Bad Times at the El Royale.
Oh, okay. Very similar movies.
He's also Jimmy Neutron's dog, isn't he?
Yes. Like Goddard!
I love Cabin in the Woods is one of my favorite horror movies. Love when they're just like all betting on like what they're gonna pick in the basement. Like,
come on, merman.
he had the conch shell in his hand.
No, I love it like close to the end of the movie, like when the merman is like sloshing his way over to him, and he's like, "Oh man, like really, like this is what they're like," and then he gets eaten. But Scream 2 is like very similar to Scream. I mean, it's a direct sequel. In the movie, like they are making a movie called Stab. Like the movie starts with people in the theater seeing Stab. So like, and I've seen Scream 3. Like Scream 3 is actually the first Scream I saw because I saw it when I was in school, and it takes place during the making of a sequel to Stab. So like the series,
they keep getting more meta.
The series is very, very like meta. Like it's very like self-aware and really funny. But I also watched Nightmare on Elm Street, which is what's his name? Wes Craven, he's the guy that makes the Scream movies. So the first Nightmare on Elm Street has like a very young Johnny Depp in it.
Oh,
but
I think that was one of his first roles.
Yes, I think it was. I think it was his
Nightmare
first.
on Elm Street.
I actually thought it was pretty good. It was. Yeah, I mean, it's old. It came out in like '84 or something, so it is dated in some ways. So some of the horror is kind of cheesy, and some of the slasher stuff is very tame, in comparison to what we have today.
Yeah.
But I did think it still, I think, held up really well for all it was worth, and it did have some like very creepy elements. The whole like concept is really scary because a lot of the movie is about like these people like basically trying to like stay awake because they're afraid that if they fall asleep that they're going to get killed.
Plus, he can only get you in your dreams, right?
Yes, yeah. And then you like learn backstory and everything and how it's connected to the town and then the people and the victims who were all like underage kids because Freddy was like, Freddy Krueger, he was like some pedophile or something that basically was, cursed and was somehow able to come back in people's dreams and stuff. So, but yeah, I thought it for the most part held up as like a good horror movie. It was a little dated, but I think it's considered more like that with that, and then something like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, kind of one of the like better older slasher movies. But I still want to see the next Friday the 13th movie. I've only seen the first one, and then the first one, like spoilers, like Jason's not the killer in the first Friday the 13th because Jason's not alive. He's dead. So.
Yeah,
I do kind of want to get like
shows up in like the very last.
Oh yes,
scene, right?
Yeah, he jumps out of the water.
That scene actually scared me.
I knew that is a very jump.
Everybody like went.
That's a very like jump scare, jump scene scare for that. But I do kind of want to watch like more of like a schlocky, cheesy Friday the 13th. So
yeah.
So I do plan on watching the second one either probably today or tomorrow or something. I watched Child's Play, which Landon said he's seen before.
I like Child's Play.
Child's Play was I thought was actually really good. I thought the child actor was really good in that. A lot of child actors, I think, for movies that came out like in the past aren't that great, and so I thought he was pretty good for all it was worth. The doll was like equally creepy / equally funny.
Yeah, that's what makes Child's Play great, is because the doll's funny. Because he's like it's like a piece of crap like killer, right? It's like
he gets like basically voodooed into the doll.
Yeah, as he's dying, right? Like,
yes,
because he gets shot.
Yeah, it's Brad Dourif, Mick. He is Chucky.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've watched I think the first 3. They get increasingly like more insane. Like there's like one of them takes place at like a military like training camp, like for like. It's like insane. Like it takes place. It's like a boys like teen like military style training camp. Like there's like a part where like they're having like a practice skirmish, but like I think like Chucky like loads all the guns with like live ammunition or something.
Did you?
I think that's a thing that happened. Like
that sounds accurate. Did you see the remake with Aubrey Plaza and Mark Hamill?
No, I did not.
I've heard it's good.
I've heard relatively good things about it.
Isn't it? It's a show, isn't it?
No, that was a movie. They also have a TV show though.
Oh, okay.
I think
I've heard the TV show's good too.
I think the TV show is by the guy who made the original movies, and then the remake, the original guy didn't have anything to do with it. But the Child's Play movies, apparently, it's one of the few horror franchises that like basically is spearheaded by one guy, and like it doesn't have a lot of people's like fingers in the pudding, essentially. So it's regarded a little more like cohesively and kind of like it's not as like scatterbrained, I guess, and kind of out there as some of the other like notable horror franchises are. But yeah, I like the first movie. I thought it was funny / a little scary, but not too creepy.
I think I could take a doll.
It was a fun movie. I think
pretty
you.
tough.
I think you could watch Child's Play, Mick. It's more like funny, I think, for you, but it was good.
What about Rosemary's Baby? I want to know about that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I
Watch
really wanna
Rosemary's
watch
Baby. There wasn't a lot of baby in the movie because the movie just primarily focuses on the
couple,
mom,
right?
And this couple, and then like her pregnancy that she's dealing with. So it's not till like the last 10 to 15 minutes of the movie until like the baby's actually born.
I've heard it's good. I've heard it's really creepy, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I think it's kind of dated. For its time, it probably was like the most horrifying movie that ever existed. But I would say it's quite tame for 2022 audiences. I mean, it has the whole like
probably,
if you're scared of like the idea of like demonic powers and stuff, then that probably will like scare you more.
But probably pretty mild compared to like Hereditary.
I would say it's very like fairly mild movie.
Okay.
It's kind of long, but I don't know.
Would you say
2 hours and 17 minutes for a movie that came out in 1968? That's like a 5-hour movie nowadays.
It's a little slow, but I do think it's more like I think this one is more of a movie of its time. Like I don't regret watching it, but I mean whatever impact it has like is pretty moot in our society today, I would say.
Yeah, okay. Have you seen The Exorcist?
Exorcist?
Yeah, Exorcist.
No, Mick, I want to see how long it took him to say the word
no,
correctly.
Please. I'm not going to.
That was long enough.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Have you seen The Exercise?
Yeah, have you seen The Exercise?
Dave exercises?
No, I have not seen The Exorcist.
I've heard that one's creepy.
That one probably is scarier from like scenes and stuff I've seen from that movie. There's like the head spinning around and vomiting everywhere and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, like this movie, Rosemary's Baby, had nothing like that.
Well, people wanted to like ban that movie, like a lot of like conservative, because like they add in like stitched. You know what I mean? Like there's that famous people act like the movie's cursed or whatever. Like that.
I don't know. That doesn't.
You know
sound
what I mean? Like
no, that doesn't sound on brand. No, but I've not seen The Exorcist. I think that one that's one still is like regarded as like one of the like best horror movies or something.
Yeah,
maybe I'll get to it someday. I don't know. I have so many other horror movies I want to watch before that. So
like Hereditary.
No, like I wanted to see The Devil's Backbone. That's a Guillermo del Toro movie.
Oh,
this one he did it. I think it was early 2000s. I think it was before he did Hellboy. Before he did Pan's Labyrinth and everything. But it takes place during the Spanish Civil War. It's a Spanish movie. And it takes place like in this orphanage in rural Spain. And it follows these orphans who, particularly one who gets dropped off and is assimilated into this orphanage run by this doctor and then this teacher. And there's kind of this mystery going on because there was a boy who used to be at the orphanage who disappeared one night, and it was a night when a bomb fell from one of the planes that was flying over, landed in the middle of the courtyard of the orphanage, but didn't explode. So there's this huge bomb in the middle, all like Megaton almost, from Fallout 3. But it's not a nuke because nukes didn't exist in that time period. But it kind of follows this mystery of what happened to the boy, and then the orphans, especially the one who just comes and visits, like starts seeing like this apparition, like this ghost, and it kind of the story unfolds from there. But I thought it was pretty good. I didn't like it as much as I like Pan's Labyrinth, but I think Pan's Labyrinth is so good that I think it more is a testament to still how good that movie is. But it takes place like same time period because Pan's Labyrinth also is during Spanish Civil War. So, but I would recommend that. Pretty good movie.
He had a new TV show come out on Netflix.
Oh, he did? It's like an anthology. Yeah, horror anthology thing. I haven't seen any of them yet, but I did hear about those. Do you plan on watching any?
Yeah, I think so. I really want to watch that. I want to watch the Evil Dead movies. I've heard those are really good.
You haven't seen those yet?
No.
Those are funny horror movies. Well, the first one is not very funny, but
I've heard the second and the third one.
Second one and Army of Darkness are very like those are so campy, like, but they're so like funny. They're like they're really funny. But they're also like violent and there's some scary scenes. But I'm surprised Mick, you haven't seen those, right? Because you like Spider-Man, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, I haven't seen those.
You should at least watch you can watch the first one, but they essentially remake the first one in the second movie. If you want to not watch like the scariest of the three, Michael. So
yeah,
but Landon, you can watch it. because Landon likes scary movies. And then the last one I watched it's called At the Mouth of Madness. Have you heard of that one?
That's a John Carpenter movie.
It's a John Carpenter movie. It stars
what's his face?
Sam Neill.
I can't think of anything besides his role in
Jurassic Park.
No.
Event Horizon.
Or Ragnarok.
Event Horizon. That's our Event Horizon. I can't think of him as anything else. Like even like I know like Jurassic Park's a way more
Jurassic Park 3.
for him.
Alan.
I just think of him from like the end of Event Horizon. Like that's all I think of when I think of him now.
At the Mouth of Madness, I thought was really good. I wish it had a bigger budget because I think it could have like done a lot more scarier things with some of the practical effects that John Carpenter likes to use in his movies. But it was very like Lovecraftian, but also like very Stephen King. It kind of takes place in a very Stephen King type town. But a lot of like the monsters and the horror elements seem like they're like kind of ripped out of Lovecraft. Even the name of the movie is based off of one of Lovecraft's short stories. So Sam Neill plays this. He's a detective, I think. He's either a detective or a journalist. I don't remember. I watched this one like 2 weeks ago.
Says he's a insurance investigator,
detective man, and he's like tracking down this author who's gone missing, and he's the one that he's kind of like a Stephen King stand-in essentially. And then shenanigans ensue. But this one's very like a mind kind of bending, kind of like cerebral horror movie. So if you like those, I would check out At the Mouth of Madness. Plus, if you like John Carpenter stuff. So
yeah.
Anyway, that's where I am right now. Maybe I'll watch another one today or tomorrow or something.
Cool. You gonna watch Scooby-Doo on Zombies Island?
I don't have Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
Might be on HBO Max.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you?
There's a lot more John Carpenter movies I want to see.
Big Trouble in Little China.
I want to see that. I want to see it. I want to see Escape from New York.
Have you guys seen that?
I have not seen that. I really want to, but I know.
Oh, that movie's really funny. I think it's the inspiration for Mortal Kombat.
Oh, okay.
There's so much. So. There's so much in there that's obvious inspiration.
Well, Kurt Russell's
I can't believe
character.
you haven't seen that movie, Dave.
I know. Yeah, I know. It's definitely on my list of.
I've seen that movie.
Movies to see,
and you haven't.
There's movies you've seen that I haven't. Like it's not a big surprise.
It's almost never unheard of. Or what? No, never what?
It's almost never unheard of. So the wind in the willows, huh?
Cool. You gonna dress up?
No.
Why not, Dave?
Why would I dress up?
It's Halloween.
You're not gonna go out to some parties in Vegas?
I don't know. Probably not.
Is Vegas nuts in Halloween? Like during Halloween, is it nuts? They go crazy.
I'm trying to remember what I did last year.
You can't remember because it was so crazy.
I mean, it's probably like maybe a little more than everything else, but I mean,
Vegas is pretty crazy every night.
Yeah,
right?
so it's like they don't
I feel
really
like
need
Vegas
Halloween
is always
to like
more than everything else.
Yeah, you watched Wind in the Willows though, Mick, last night, right?
I did, but I fell asleep to it.
What?
Yeah,
I watched it a couple days. I watched it a couple days ago, and like it was a very like nostalgic trip to see that because it was a movie that I hadn't like remembered watching, but as soon as I started watching it, like it would get to certain scenes and like memories would like flood back into my brain, and then I'd be like, oh, I feel like now that like this is a thing I've seen a lot. It was a weird feeling. But it's
we must have had that on VHS.
Yeah, probably
back in the day because we're old.
Yep.
Yeah, nostalgia is interesting.
Yeah,
and memories interesting.
I watched An American Tail. Speaking of nostalgia,
oh gosh,
which one?
That was the first one. I watched that with Megan the other night.
Did you cry?
Where out there beneath the pale.
No, keep going.
No.
The listeners want it. Had she never seen it before?
She hadn't. No, she hadn't even heard of it. So
wait, what?
I'm like, you haven't heard of this classic Don Bluth animated film? And then I'd explain Don Bluth to her. So, legendary animator.
And then she lost interest because you started talking about Don Bluth.
No, she watched the whole movie and liked it. So,
no, talk about Don Bluth, Landon, please. Just keep talking about it. We really want to hear about
He had
Don
Disney
Bluth.
on the ropes. He had him on the ropes.
Gosh dang it, Dave.
You guys want to watch The Secret of Nim after this?
No.
Wait, was he involved with...
Actually, The Secret of Nim is actually pretty scary.
Not as scary as Scooby-Doo and Zombie.
Did he
No, it's scary.
do Land Before Time? also.
Yeah.
Were you allowed to watch those as a kid, Landon?
Oh yeah, I was a big Land Before Time person.
Oh, okay. But it had
For some reason,
dinosaurs in it. I wasn't sure if
I know it was kind of a weird thing. Dinosaurs were in for my family.
Oh, I like dinosaurs.
I've actually never met one, so I can't really say whether I would.
They're pretty polite.
They're back.
That's a great movie. Talk about nostalgia.
Is that Don Bluth? That might also be Don Bluth.
What's that?
It might be, yeah.
What movie is this?
They're back.
They're back. It stars John Goodman as some Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
I've never seen this movie.
I'll look it up because
Screwball McJones guy, the villain.
oh, it's We're Back. Sorry, a dinosaur's tale.
Roll back the clock and red brown sing this song with me. Or whatever. Yeah, when he's skateboarding on the pickup truck.
Dude, what a like timely movie.
Yeah.
It was produced by Steven Spielberg's animation studio. So no Don Bluth. But it wasn't Disney.
Very similar though in style.
Yeah, I feel like the animation style looks very similar.
Did you guys ever watch An American Tail 5 What Goes West?
Yeah.
Probably.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but
I believe it was James Stewart's last acting role, I believe.
His closer friends call him Jimmy.
I never met him actually, so
He's almost as nice as dinosaurs.
yep, that was his last acting.
So Five Will Goes West, it has two of the same directors as We're Back, Landon. You would probably, I mean, like you wouldn't have like the nostalgia feeling from this movie, but it fits very much into your like non-Disney 80s 90s anamorphic animation.
Obsession.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen all the Don. I need to watch more of the Don Bluth ones. Like I haven't seen All Dogs Go to Heaven, or I think there's another one.
That's another movie I haven't seen in a really long time.
I'm looking at all these animated movies. This is a Disney one, but The Brave Little Toaster. That movie scarred me.
Oh,
I love the Brave.
That
movie
has some like
scarred
scary
me.
scenes.
I like the
when they go to
firefighter
Mars.
clown thing. Oh, The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars.
Yeah.
That's the second movie. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
I've seen
Or
that
the
one
third
too.
The freaking AC unit though, like freaked me out as good.
Oh yeah.
Like exploding,
Yeah.
all angry. You can't leave me here.
The nightmare scene when he's in the like the firefighters, like it's like a firefighter clown like spraying him down with water and some electricity. Like that movie's messed up.
Yeah.
The people that made that movie were definitely
High.
yeah, they were on something.
Yeah.
Because there's The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars and there's The Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue. Let's see, what year was The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars? It was 1998.
I only hope that someday I'll love something as much as that guy loved his toaster.
Yeah. Wayne Knight is in the one. He plays the microwave. I think the microwave's the villain, I'm pretty sure, but I can't remember.
Wayne Knight is the villain? No, that doesn't check out.
Oh, The Brave Little Toaster to the Rescue came out in 97. I think this might have been like direct to DVD or something, or VHS.
Direct to video, yeah. Well, I think both of the sequels were probably direct to video, right?
Yeah, probably.
Who's going to see like Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars in the theater?
What an idea.
Even the Brave Little Toaster doesn't really seem like a theatric movie. Like there's something about it that like feels
Maybe
like it
like
was
a
like
B-team.
Maybe the
it was
fact
the first
that the main character is a toaster. Does that have something to do with it?
Maybe.
I remember the
It probably didn't
animation
make
though
very much
being
money.
really cool, like just the hand drawn.
Yeah. 2D animation's like inherently, in my opinion, cooler than the stuff they're doing.
I wish there would be more of it. I'm so sick of all
The
the
generic, like,
and it all looks the same.
Yeah.
It just all feels exactly the same. It's like it all takes place in the freaking frozen world.
yeah. I'm like tripping down nostalgia lane with movies right now. Like, I just looked at, did you ever watch the 1996 Shiloh movie? It's about like a beagle.
Shiloh Buff?
No. A small town southern boy named Marty Preston must rescue a young beagle from his abusive owner, Judd Travers.
This is animated?
No, this is live action.
Oh, yeah, probably not.
Yes, we've seen this.
Yeah.
You have?
I pulled up the like the what's it called? The
IMDb?
front of the movie.
Yeah, you've definitely.
Yes.
Shiloh?
This probably is what like gave Michael his love for beagles.
Shiloh.
There's also Shiloh 2 called Shiloh Season is the subtitle of it.
What about Saving Shiloh, the 2006 reimagining?
Oh, the part 2 when Shiloh's abusive previous owner Judd Travers tries to retake Shiloh again. Ray tries to find a way to end the rivalry and open up the hidden kindnesses within the town drunk. Scott Wilson plays Judd Travers.
Dude, we just don't have like the town drunk anymore, right? I mean, our towns are too big that we just don't have like the one town drunk.
There's the town degenerate drunks. Like
it makes it hard to like know
it's way less lovable when there's like 50 or 80
and it makes it hard to know who you're talking about. Like when you need to go see the person and they get that sage wisdom they have deep down inside when you don't know which specific town drunk they're referring to.
Dude, the third one sounds way darker. Marty Preston and Judd Travers must join together to clear the latter's name after he's accused of killing a man he once fought in a bar.
What?
I feel like it's way darker.
Is it the same dog in all these?
I think so. It's the same. Like the cast looks the same. Like Scott Wilson plays Judd Travers in all 3 films,
except for Marty Preston.
Marty Preston changes actors.
Well, there was like 10 years between the first movie and the third
movie. I don't know. Continuity matters.
Are they going to really recast him?
I think that would just throw me off. I don't know if I could watch it. Yeah, what the frick?
You guys ever watched Because of Winn-Dixie?
I don't think so. I think that came out too late.
Yeah. This was still in my range. 2005. This was definitely like a library movie. I got so many movies from the library when I was a kid.
Indian in the Cupboard. Do you remember that movie?
I don't think I was allowed to watch that.
Oh, because it had
I was like
Native Americans in it? Is that why, Landon?
Oh, I don't think that was the reason, but there was something. There was like some like I don't know. Maybe there's like a sexual reference or something. I don't know.
What?
I have no idea. Sometimes like anything with like anything remotely that like.
I just remember when he was like fighting the action figure Darth Vader. Do you remember that, Dave?
I don't. I remember liking the movie. I just don't remember seeing it very much. I think though that like this like when I think of the Indian in the Cupboard, it makes me think of like the less cool version of Small Soldiers. But
Small Soldiers, yeah, that movie rocks.
Indian in the Cupboard is probably a better movie than Small Soldiers. Would be my guess.
Hey, they're both probably good.
I don't know. Like I've since watched Small Soldiers within the last like 5 or 6 years, and
hey, that's a great movie.
Like it was like a oof kind of.
You wish you didn't rewatch it.
Like, why did I waste my time?
You just melted a part of your nostalgia.
When else have you seen it like a D-bag guy on a motorcycle who you just want to see defeated at the end of the movie?
It's got an all-star cast. It's got Kirsten Dunst.
Is that the one that has the guy
David
from is the D-bag motorcycle guy the one from what's that
stupid
I don't
show
think so. Called?
Home Improvement?
No, it's the nerd show.
What?
What am I thinking of?
I don't know. What are you thinking of? Who are you talking about?
The Big Bang Theory.
Dennis Leary's in it. I don't see anybody from Big Bang Theory in this.
Yeah,
I'll have to find out what I'm thinking of. But have you seen Small Soldiers, really Landon?
No, I have not.
I mean, it's kind of a funny movie. Like it's entertaining. It's a very entertaining movie.
Oh, it has Phil Hartman in it too.
I think it was his last
Phil Hartman as
role.
Phil Hartman or Phil Fimple. Fimple, that's his name.
I have not watched a ton of movies lately. I don't feel like.
Unlike Dave.
I have been watching a lot of Better Call Saul though.
How far are you?
So, I'm on season 4.
Oh,
so some significant things happened at the end. Yeah, significant things happened at the end of season 3. Like
black and white things that happened.
I mean, at the start of season 4, a thing happens because each season starts with, which are always awesome. It's always a treat. I'm always very excited
at the Cinnabon.
Yeah,
Cinnabon.
But no, the end of season 3 ends with like a certain you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that show is so good. It's like the perfect prequel because it's like tasteful, like because it's definitely like I love how much it is setting up Breaking Bad, like but it's like very restrained in how it's doing it. Like if that makes sense, like it's not like you're not like 3 episodes into the first season you've like seen every character from the show. Like it's very very.
It's very grounded. It's very like it's not at all like wink wink like look at us like we're in the Better Call Saul universe or we're in the Breaking Bad universe.
It's not like episode 4 and like Skinny Pete showed up and like doing like what I mean. It's like okay, like the characters are showing up very in a realistic way and
it's only some of them and it's not very often and it's at good moments that make sense in the story.
It's very good. Like I mean like the fact like when Mike's buying the rifle, it's the same guy that sells like the machine gun to you know what I mean. Like it's very. But man, that show is so good. I would like Mike is who I want to be as like an old man. Like Mike is like I'm sorry, like maybe that's not everybody's dream, but like that guy's so cool. I'm sorry.
You want to be cool. like you were a corrupt cop like your whole life, and then and so you get old and jaded, and then you like resent so much. And
I just like how like efficient he is at everything he does. Like he's just very deliberate. Like
he is like a really cool character. Like
Yeah,
I get what I get what you're saying. Like I'd much rather be him as an old man instead of that bad guy from the Shiloh movies we were just talking about.
Judd Travers. I don't know. I just like how like for like an old guy that's like, you know what I mean? Like he's so bad at like for like he's not doing a ton of crazy action stuff or anything like like some of those old action star type.
I mean, yeah,
he's
he
so
can't.
badass. Like yeah, just the way he carries himself. He's like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, he does have like a great voice.
Yeah. So that's great. I love all the show does a very good job at visually. Like there's a lot of very cool visual cues with like the different characters and like a lot of like I don't feel like any of it's on the nose, but like the different comparisons like between the characters. I love the dynamic between Jimmy and his brother Chuck. Like so they're like clash of like who they are as people is very and they demonstrate it in like very different ways. Like there's a scene where like Jimmy's helping Chuck pull down some stuff from the wall and Jimmy's tearing the tape off quickly because he wants to just get it off the wall. And Chuck's like, we have to do it this way, this very, slow, methodic, so we don't take the I don't know. There's very great, this cut between, and like, I find like Jimmy's arc in the show has been so good. Mm-hmm. Like, he just can't help himself. Like, I love like time and time again. He just can't break away from who he is. Like, it's very fascinating.
Well, plus he has like the right like combination of like enabling around him from people sometimes that you don't expect would be enablers in his life.
Yep.
Yeah. And then there's really interesting developments in those kind of relationships.
Yeah, there's so many great scenes and lines like that are like very quick but like really are powerful with different characters. Like there's a scene in season 3, there's like I don't want to get too heavy into spoilers, but Jimmy and his like girlfriend / like confidant and coworker like in peer Kim Wexler, they have to defend Jimmy in this like bar hearing. They're like his brother's trying to get him disbarred. And they kind of dismantle his brother.
Don't you mean disbatteried?
Yeah, the scene, and it's an amazing scene how they like essentially like humiliate him.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, and it's brilliant how they do it. And then like later
it's brilliant and brutal.
And brutal, very brutal and crushing to everybody around them. Like, and there's a scene later where Kim Wexler's with like these clients from a bank and the lady's going on about how it was amazing how they like tore him down. Like she like stops and she's like, as far as I'm concerned, all we did was like tear down like a sick man. And it's just like this really good scene between like two characters. Like, and it's like really quick. Like they don't dwell on it at all. It's just like one quick line. Like,
I think Kim Wexler might be my favorite character in the show, especially like as it goes on. Yeah, she's
so good.
She's such like a complicated individual. And then her arc has been like fascinating. In the show. Oh, there's a great. Oh man, I can't wait to watch even more. Like I'm in the start of season 4, but there's a great scene in season 3. Like I love the dynamic with her and Jimmy and Chuck, and then the other Howard, like when she gets him and like writes the check for him at the restaurant, like to pay back like her loans or whatever. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, I love the show. I think I gotta rewatch Breaking Bad, but like I think I like it just as much, if not more. Like it's like on par. That is my feeling when I'm watching Better Call Saul. They're so, both of them are so like stellar. Yeah. Mick, you do need to watch these shows. They're excellent. No.
I'm pretty bad at like actually getting into new shows.
Yeah, I feel like if you just
have to start. Like that's the hardest part. Is just like
Breaking Bad too is not like it does not waste any time like getting right into it.
Yeah, and I'd probably
like you started Breaking Bad a long time ago, but people like can change a lot and like what their tastes and interests are in like a short amount of time. Like you might like start rewatching Breaking Bad and be like, oh, like I'm interested in this now. Where like when you originally gave it a shot, I remember you saying, it's not for me.
I think I get a lot more out of it now watching it again, would be my guess. Yeah. It's just great. Better Call Saul is great too, because you just get to learn a lot more about a lot of characters that you don't get to know about as much in Breaking Bad. And then there's also new characters that are like really, like you said, like Kim Wexler and the Nacho, I like a lot. And a few other, getting to see kind of like just brilliantly setting up everything that's happening in that world. Like I just finally got introduced to what's the late Lydia, I think, from
the like neurotic business lady.
Yeah, she just popped up, and I'm like, So, yeah, I'm very excited. So I'm like about halfway through the show, because I think it's 6 seasons, so I just started season 4, so I'm at the halfway point.
Nice.
And I feel like it's going to keep getting like more and more. Like I feel like I feel like Jimmy's hitting his like Joker like moment, like you're getting close to it. Like
You'll get what you deserve.
yeah, like they just had like this is I'm not gonna go super. I'm gonna be vague with this line, but like at the start of season 4, there's a scene where Jimmy's talking with Howard, and Howard's crying about something, and he's like, "Oh, this was my fault. Like I did like," and like it's kind of Jimmy's fault. Like, and Jimmy just goes, "Well, it looks like that's your cross to bear." He just like walks, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like,
Yeah, I'm
oh,
always
no.
like really conflicted, like watching him interact with Howard, because like as the show goes on, you realize that like Howard has his flaws, but like he does seem like he has like people's
Morals.
like, best interests
Yeah.
at heart. And Jimmy's like not having
hates him.
Like
hates,
yeah.
Well, like for the first like the start of the show, he hates him, he resents him. Then you find out there's like it's not really Howard's. Like the reason he hates him
that it's
is
like
not really
unfounded
Howard's.
basically.
Yeah.
Great show.
Oh,
Great show.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Dude, come on, man. Just check it out.
Did you hear that one of the writers for the Staircase is working on the new the Batman show for HBO Max?
Oh, there's a Batman show.
Yeah, Jim Gordon.
It's either like the Asylum, Arkham Asylum, or the Gotham PD, or a completely new one. But he's working on one for that.
Are you excited for that?
Yeah, I'm
When are they
excited.
supposed to come out?
I think probably in the next year or two. I'm excited for anything new in that Batman universe.
What was the last like new Batman property that you liked or that you watched?
Black Adam.
Oh yeah,
What do you
did you talk about that last week, or did you talk about off the air?
I didn't talk about it last week.
Did you want to talk about it?
I can if you want.
Please tell us. I want to hear all about it.
It's the best movie ever made.
That's
It's
what I
great.
figured.
No flaws.
That's what I
Better
figured. That's what I've been-
than Zack Snyder's The Justice League, or is it
makes
Justice League?
every other movie look like a bowl of soup.
Like you got home and you just started burning your other movies, and you're like, or you're selling them so you can pay for more tickets to go to Black Adam.
Exactly.
Like,
The hierarchy of all movies has changed.
yeah, that's what Dwayne the Rock Johnson told me. He said it's resetting the field of superheroes.
Exactly. No, the movie was not that great. As a DC nerd, it was really cool seeing the Justice Society. It was cool seeing Dr. Fate. He's one of my favorite characters. So, played by Pierce Brosnan. He was one of the better parts of the movie. The movie itself, it was like physically hard to watch because the editing was so choppy.
Ooh.
It felt like there was a cut every second.
So it was an action movie from 2006.
What?
It was like an action adventure movie from 2006. Like
Is that what they were like?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. And it was one of those movies too where like the music never stopped in the background. Like there was always some noise happening.
Oh,
And so it never felt like the movie had time to breathe or like slow down a little bit. It was just like constant movie. So that was kind of annoying, but yeah, I mean, it really wasn't that great, but some of the visuals were really cool. The music was pretty good. Like the actual score was pretty good. But yeah, it wasn't very.
Did you have like high expectations for this, or like you weren't?
Not really.
Okay.
No. Whenever The Rock is involved, and my expectations really aren't that high.
Whoa!
I will say he
whoa.
was like
Hobbs and
he
Shaw?
as the character was fine. Like it worked, but I mean,
he's not a very good actor.
he's not a really good actor. So that kind of showed. The worst part, acting wise, though, was there's a kid actor
Oh.
in the movie, and it's just he was just horrible. There was way too much screen time on him and his mom in the movie, and it was just like it made the movie like way worse.
A kid actor can ruin.
Oh my gosh, it was, and he was like a skater kid too, so it was
Oh,
just
God.
like the typical like, oh, I'm skating around the town. Look at me, I'm a skater kid.
Yeah, kid actor. We talked about that with that Raised by Wolves show.
Yeah,
That kid actor like made that show
Yeah.
almost unwatchable.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. So yeah, it was, and it had the typical like, oh, third act villain was just thrown in there and terrible. So yeah, overall, it wasn't very good. But like I said, it wasn't like I wasn't expecting a lot out of it. So
There's a Henry Winkler cameo.
there is
that just like
No.
boosts the score of the movie by
that-
one right there.
that was a pretty funny moment.
he's awesome.
I like Henry
Yeah.
Winkler a lot.
Yeah, there's a character called Adam Smasher who's basically like an Ant-Man-esque character where he can grow big and small. and he's like the second generation. And the original Atom Smasher was Henry Winkler.
Oh, that's funny.
So I think it's his uncle or something, and he was like on video call with him, and he's like asking him about the suit or whatever, and he's like, "Oh yeah, wear the mask this way or whatever."
I love Henry Winkler's character in Arrested Development.
The lawyer.
Yeah, that
Those
might be
are
like
balls.
yeah. He's great in Barry too.
Yes.
He's pretty good in what's it called? Happy Days?
He's great in a lot of things.
He's great in about everything. Yeah, he's great in everything.
What's the next like DC movie then that's supposed to come out? Or was this the last one? Are they giving up?
Well, no, isn't because they announced that, isn't there a cameo like an end credits thing with
There is. So spoilers. Henry Cavill is officially back as Superman.
which Dwayne the Rock Johnson was spoiling that like
Yeah, I don't know
like
what.
weeks
Like,
before
he was
this movie
kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like it made no sense.
I'm the Rock. Like,
Did he say that he was like retiring from it, or was there some reason he wouldn't have come back?
So a lot, like there's been a huge amount of like change in the Warner Brothers executive side of things.
That's
And
always a good sign.
Yeah. And so Henry Cavill was one character that was like up in the air of like, are we continuing with this guy or not? And so it was just kind of in a limbo for him. So no one really knew exactly, because all the other stuff that his Superman showed up in, it wasn't actually Henry Cavill. It was like in Peacemaker, he showed up at the end, but it wasn't Henry Cavill.
you can't see who it is. Right?
In Shazam, it wasn't Henry Cavill. Like they didn't show his face because they didn't know. But now he's like officially back on, and I think they're doing like another movie for him, and maybe a movie with him and Black Adam. So
Did you watch Peacemaker?
no.
Oh, Peacemaker was
He
great.
refused to, remember?
Well, something that might make you guys happy is James Gunn, along with some other guy, they're like in charge of the DC movies now and TV series.
Okay.
So hopefully at least they cancel all the CW shows because those are just trash.
Most of them have kind of wrapped up.
I think
they?
I think most of them are on
Like I think like the Flash is like
that the
one more season or something.
Arrowverse?
Yeah, the Arrowverse.
They're just awful.
I liked the first maybe.
I think the first like 2.5, 3 seasons of Arrow were actually pretty good.
Yeah, for like cheesy like superhero like, and I was younger too when those were.
Yeah.
I remember like me and my mom would watch it together when like my dad was out of town, and we liked it. It was like a fun thing to watch, but
Yeah,
it just got too crazy.
too CWE.
Yeah, where it's like it's just that like okay, we got 24 episodes.
I was too much
Each ep-
of a film snob before, so I never was into it. I just want that on the record.
Yeah, no, Dave like really loved Smallville.
Only the
He
first
loved-
7 seasons of Smallville. It goes a little downhill from there.
The Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum, who played Clark Kent and Lex Luthor in Smallville, they're doing a Smallville rewatch podcast, and it's
I've heard Michael
pretty entertaining.
Rosenbaum on a couple podcasts, and he's actually like
He's
interesting.
really
He's really
fun.
interesting to listen to.
He's really he has his other
funny.
podcast too, Inside of Me, or Inside of You. Sorry,
Don't want to get that
where
mixed up.
It's my point of view. We're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum.
All right, keep going.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
But
yeah, he does.
Smallville wasn't
Yeah, but I-
Arrowverse, right? Like, wasn't
No.
that technically that was pre-Arrowverse?
Arrowverse is Arrow, The Flash,
Supergirl,
Legends of Tomorrow,
Legends of Tomorrow,
Batgirl.
Batgirl, or Batwoman.
which I heard that was.
I heard that was really bad. And I think
Is
that's
Doom
it.
Patrol in there, or is that separate?
That was
That's
separate.
I heard
That
Doom
was an
Patrol-
HBO Max.
I actually heard Doom Patrol's pretty good.
I saw some Doom Patrol. I thought it was pretty good. It's kind of
That's
it's
still
out
going?
there.
Or that
I think it's still going. Maybe not. I know it had like a recent season.
I just feel like I haven't heard anything from that and Titans. I haven't heard anything new about.
I'll always think of that as like that trailer. Like
Yeah,
Robin.
Batman.
Yeah, like that's the only thing I think about. Like when I think about it.
Yeah, I never watched
Doom
it.
Patrol says it's still going.
All right.
Speaking of DC stuff, are you gonna buy Gotham Knights?
I am. Yeah, I've tried to stay away from reviews because I've heard some more negative than positive, but I always like to try out a video game
Yeah,
no matter what. But yeah, I'll definitely try it out.
it's more
Just
Batman
haven't gotten around to
stuff.
it. Yeah, for sure.
I really like those Arkham games.
They're so fun.
Yeah.
So fun. Did you ever play Arkham Origins?
No, I never had a platform like it never came to like it's like locked on like PS3 and like Xbox 360. It never came to like PS4, and That was like the first.
Is that one? That's one though where you can like cheat it, right, and like play the PS3 version on PS5.
You have to do it through like PS
some
Now, like the
streaming
stream. You have to
thing?
stream it. There's a lot of latency, I think, with the button inputs.
That's dumb. Yeah, I wish that they had done just a remaster with the rest of the Arkham collection.
I feel like Rocksteady kind of like gave that game the cold shoulder because it was made by a different studio.
I don't know why. I think it's just as good, if not better, than some of the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really like it felt like the other one, like the mechanics were the same, and there were some even improvements with the combat and detective mode stuff. Like, but that game gets crapped on a lot, and that's another one I don't get it. I don't get why.
It's weird.
I think it probably has to do with like its legacy from when it was released. Like Assassin's Creed Unity is kind of the same thing. Like when it released, it was a buggy mess. It had a lot of problems, and sometimes you can't like escape like a bad release. Some games can't.
I don't think it had
buggy,
a bad
release.
Though. It wasn't buggy. I think what people
there was some severe bug issues with Arkham Origins.
Was there?
Yeah, people's saves were getting corrupted and deleted. That was one of the.
So how did Arkham Knight escape that? 'Cause I guess people don't like Arkham Knight as much either. Because
that one's more like a PC.
Like
I feel like a lot of games are broken on PC though, from like a console port.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just don't know why Origins got so much hate.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably had to do with like people being upset that like the original cast wasn't back, and like having some doubts that like Rocksteady wasn't fully involved. But I mean, it really was like a copy of Arkham City, and just improvements were made.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you can't get much better than that.
Yeah. Are you excited for the Suicide Squad game?
Not really.
Even though it's by Rocksteady?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, this is me basing it off of just the trailers that we've seen, and there's been like very little about it released. But from what I've seen, I'm not interested in playing as the Suicide Squad.
I'm kind of intrigued by killing the Justice League. It kind of has me intrigued.
I don't know what because supposedly it's in the same Arkham universe. The continuity's there, so I don't know. I don't know if it takes place after Arkham Knight or if it's before or what. I'm just really confused about it. But yeah, I don't
it's getting delayed. It's like in development.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been in development basically since like 2015.
It's a long time.
Yeah, so
we'll
see.
I found this article from VG 24/7 from 2018. It says 3 great games that were held back by bugs and technical issues. 2 of the 3 games are Assassin's Creed Unity and Arkham Origins. Third one is Master Chief Collection, Halo.
I remember Unity got like crapped on so hard.
Yeah, Unity.
There's that famous picture of like the eyes bugging out.
Yeah, the eyes bugging out. Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the next DC movie is probably the next Aquaman.
Okay.
I thought, does that come out in December?
I have no idea. I never watched the first one. I probably won't watch the second one.
What if Amber Heard's not in it?
She's going to be, right?
I don't know.
I don't really care.
Yeah, her being in it or not being in it is not going to change.
It has little effect.
My interest.
The fact that Jason Momoa is in the movie probably has more of an effect on what I'm going to watch. I don't.
Khal Drogo himself.
Really. Yeah. Khal Drogo, he was fine as Khal Drogo because Khal Drogo doesn't really talk at all. So
because he was like a dummy dumb character kind of.
Yeah.
Oh no, it got pushed to next year, I think.
And then what's up with Ezra Miller? He's like back, like he apologized.
He's out.
Oh,
I think they're releasing the Flash movie, and then he's done after that.
There's a Flash movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
With Michael Keaton as Batman.
Dang. Well,
Michael Keaton.
Mm.
Yeah. So, what other movies are coming out at the end of this year? There's a new Avatar.
Is that coming out this year?
Star Wars Episode 10.
I almost don't believe the Avatar movie's coming out until like it's actually in theaters because it's just been delayed.
It's going to come out and it's going to make like $5 billion and we're going to go like, how? Like, why? Like, this there's just like some tax, like, there's some, this is like a money, like, I think Avatar movies are just like some type of money laundering scheme by whatever company owns them. Because
I never watched the first one.
Well, it's Disney now.
Is it on Disney Plus?
I believe the original one
is, and Disney.
I should watch it because I've never seen it. I feel like I should. I feel like I'm.
I mean, look, there are some cool things about it. Some of the visuals are pretty cool. Some of the ideas in the movie are pretty cool, but it is a very
mediocre movie.
Very generic, like Pocahontas-y type of story that's been told so many times. It's just like
it's the we're showing up to conquer this place.
Yeah, it's the military bad, trees good. type of movie that, I mean, it's not interesting.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I should watch it though, because I feel like I should go to see the second one just so I can help get its box office numbers up.
Yeah, it probably needs all the help it can get.
That was definitely a product of like also the 3D era, like when 3D was just coming out.
I think that was a big thing, was IMAX 3D with that movie is what really helped it.
Because the ticket sales, those are more expensive then, right?
Yeah.
Way more expensive. So.
Like I think $300 a ticket.
Yeah. So you had payment plans for your...
Yeah.
Taking the family to Avatar, taking out a second mortgage.
30% interest. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably watch the second one too, because, you know, just one of those movies that...
Well, isn't it going to be like that? Like, then they're going to come out one a year, right? Because they've like filmed them.
I honestly don't know. I mean, this movie was supposed to come out like 10 years ago. So I don't really, I think like you.
What happened? Were they not like, what was the hangups? Like,
I don't know. It could be anything from like waiting for technology to improve to...
James Cameron got stuck in the Challenger Deep for like a couple years. So he had to find his way back to the surface.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I just think of South Park when I think of that.
Well, anyway.
Do you not think of that when you think of James Cameron?
You
think of South Park, right?
I still think of just Avatar and just how boring of a movie it is. That's honestly what I think of.
Do you like T2?
I've never seen it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, put that on the list. It's another movie I've seen that Dave hasn't.
It's on my list of movies to see. I haven't seen the first Terminator or the third Terminator. I've seen no Terminator movies actually. Now
that's regarded by most people as like the greatest sequel, the greatest action sequel.
I've seen Aliens. That's also highly regarded as a great action sequel, and it's James Cameron. Aliens is great.
Aliens is awesome.
Yeah.
Game over, man.
Game over, man.
I love the Aliens universe. I feel like that's the coolest part of those movies. Like the first two are good, and then like from there, it's like it's a really cool concept.
You need to play Deadspace, the first Deadspace.
I'm gonna play the remake that comes out.
Oh, play the remake when it comes out.
And then I kind of want to play the Callisto Protocol, which is essentially Dead Space. It's by the original creator of Dead Space. It comes out next month. It's supposed to it's like a spiritual successor to Dead Space.
Oh, I've seen like clips of this, but I don't actually know anything about it.
It's just Dead Space.
If it's a spiritual successor to the first Dead Space, I'm on board.
It's the original. It's the creator of Dead Space making it.
That's perfect.
So,
Are we gonna play the new whatever game it's called?
Wait,
what's it called?
What are you talking about?
I'm really gonna have to give me more than that.
That's all you need.
You know the new game.
That new video game. You know the new one that came out.
The hit
the thing.
New video game.
The thing.
You're really good.
The Little Hope.
Oh yeah, we'll play that.
When is that coming out?
Next month, I think.
November.
Yep. Missed spooky season. Kind of weird that they didn't get it out for October, but I don't think any of those games they've ever made have came out like actually in like October, which is crazy because they've made like 6 of them.
It's always like December or like summertime.
Yeah, like I think like Until Dawn, which was like their first one, came out in like August. I'm like, okay, like perfect.
And it takes place like in the winter time, like in the mountains.
I'm like, like let's release this horror game in a time where it doesn't get dark till like 9 o'clock at night. Like,
well, cool. Well, anything else?
I think I'm good.
I think I'm good too.
I think I'm great.
I don't think I'm that good. I'm just good.
How good do you have to be great?
Too good. Two goods. Two goods equal great.
Too good to be good. So I'm great. Yep. I'm gonna get that tattooed on my fingers.
You do that.
Too good to be good. Too great.
Well, thank you for listening to us talk and Landon talk about his future tattoos.
Dude. Tune in next week when he reveals his tattoos.
That fresh ink.
Yep.
It's going to be an R-rated episode.
Yeah. What?
All right. Well, thank you for listening. We'll be back next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Farewell.
Bye. Michael.
Michael.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Hotkeys podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, CastBox, YouTube, and other podcasting platforms. Visit our website, www.hotkeyspodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at Hotkeys Podcast and join our Facebook group at facebook.com/HKHotkeys. Please like and review us and subscribe to the show on whichever platforms you use. Finally, you can contact us via email at hosts@hotkeyspodcast.com.